Hello everyone, I am Inverse, and today I am going to be coming at you with a very special two-part shoutcast series. If you guys don't recognize this mini-map, this tactical map you're staring at right now, allow me to introduce you to what is perhaps the most difficult, the most intricate of Company of Heroes maps. Yes, I am talking about the Scheldt. No, I'm not talking about Angeville. No, I'm not talking about Samoa. Langra? What is Langra? This is the Shelt we're talking about, people. This is the granddaddy of Company of Heroes matches. And now you might be asking me, Inverse, if this map is so amazing, why is it that I don't see professional players? Why I don't see any of your game replays experts posting replays on this map? Well, I would tell you, there's a very good reason for that. You see, this map is perhaps the most difficult map in terms of strategic variety. There are just so many different things a player can do on this map, and a Company of Heroes expert, he doesn't like unpredictability. He likes to know he's going to go rifle spam every game. He likes to know he's going to go 2 Volks Grenadiers, an MG, and a sniper into tier 2 every single game, and you cannot do this on this map. So now that we've got the introductions out of the way, I will go ahead and get this game started. We have down here our very own Game Replays moderator, Complexity, who is actually gracious enough to risk her reputation by attempting to write up a Shelt strategy guide. A Shelt strategy guide, kind of like, I don't know, kind of like looking for the Holy Grail. Extremely difficult to do. I do not envy her position, but I'm sure everyone on the forums is going to be very, very grateful for the guide that this video is going to be posted with. Now, on to her teammates. We have Huntsman up here on the top as the purple American player, actually Huntsman 225. And then down here on the bottom, the essential British player, BB Violent, spawning as the green British. And now, for the enemy Axis players, we got Pinky1 down here as the Wehrmacht, yes. Wehrmacht down here on the bottom at the very vulnerable, very tricky base right here. Going to be very difficult for this player to play. We'll see how he adapts. And over here we have Delino, the red Panzer Elite. Yes, Panzer Elite player going Scorched Earth, it looks like already. Very good choice, especially on this map. And we also have Et Steel Eat, which is a very stupid name, but we won't judge him. He is the Wehrmacht, and oh man, I'm already missing enemy unit down noises. Not sure what's going on. Oh, look at that mine right there, but something sees it, probably this squad. 2 Brens, very interesting start, very typical on the Shelt. You definitely need to go for a lot of Bren carriers. Usually you want more than 2, usually you want like 3 or 4. 3 or 4 Bren carriers is a good number, especially when you play high resources, Annihilate, which is really the only way Company of Heroes should be played. I mean, let's get real, people. The Shelt folks know how to make their games. Ooh, look at this. A little bit of road blockage up here in the middle. This is going to be good because it's going to block any vehicles from crossing the bridge, and it's going to make it so these units have a lot of green cover. And Complexity looking like she's got a sniper out very, very early. Still chatting around somehow. Not sure how she's able to do it with this amazing sniper micro right now. You see here, right here. Probably attack moving. Ooh, all these pioneers getting taken out, but that's okay. I'm sure he will have a good number of them on the way. Actually, it doesn't look like he's building anything. Perhaps he forgot how to hit the P button. But in any case, let's go over a bit of the strategic intricacies to this map. I do not profess to be a Shelt professional, and I am definitely not to the level of some of these players. I'm sure the majority of these players, Complexity included, in this game have just so much more experience, so much more knowledge of the game than I could ever grasp in my entire career. It actually makes me slightly upset that I've kind of peaked where I am. I mean, compared to these players, of course. And oh no, look at that mine ending up paying up. But yeah, I've kind of peaked. I mean, compared to these guys, look at this. I mean, look at this MG micro right here. He's probably going to take out 2 Bren carriers. Oh no, they're going to back up. Even this, just backing up. Like, I would have never thought to do that. Absolutely impeccable play. 3 snipers now in the middle. for Complexity. Very good. 4 kills on one, 1 kill on the other, and no kills on the other. If I just open up the tactical map for a minute right now, you're going to see, oh, one Bren carrier does go down. However, we do have an observation post right here, an observation post right here, and there will probably be an observation post on this high munitions point in no time at all. Observation posts, you don't see them much in 1v1s, at least this early, because 1v1 players just kind of don't have a grasp on how important a strategically placed observation post early on can be. I mean, if you look right now at their resource income, kind of through the roof, and that is a very, very big deal, especially at this early point in the game. You see Complexity's 3 snipers blobbing them up, as you should with any unit. Always want to keep all your units really, really close together, keep them right beside each other, because they're just harder to kill. If you guys have played StarCraft, you know what I mean. A whole group of Marines is a lot harder to kill than one single Marine. Always keep that in mind, especially on this map. This map is essential to keep your units all beside each other. This Bren's just going to hang out here. Lots of emplacements going up on the side right here. Kind of looks like the beach at Normandy. Great play by the British player so far. Getting 2 mortar emplacements, going to be a really, really good job, because he's going to be able to barrage the orange Wehrmacht player Pinky One's base, and that's going to make it very difficult for Pinky One to make any sort of progress. If we look at the minimap right now, not very many units for the Axis player. The yellow Wehrmacht player up here at the top did manage to get a Krieg barracks up, and he does have a mortar. However, no MGs in these critical buildings. You usually want an MG here, an MG here. I mean, even throw MGs right here. Actually, is there a window? Yeah, there's totally a window. Throw an MG right there. Why not throw an MG here? You want at least 2 MGs covering this part right now, because you want to keep right here. You just want to bunker this down, spam whatever you want. I mean, bunkers, tons of bunkers. Want observation posts. You see the Allies doing a good job getting an observation post right there. They still have an observation post OP'd this point right here, which is kind of strange. And what is Complexity doing? Complexity is getting her first supplier upgrade, which is a very good idea, still with her 3 snipers. If we look in the unit tab right here, also has a ranger squad. Upgraded that with Tommy submachine guns. Not really essential on the Shelt, because it's the Shelt, but hey, why not? Tommies are Tommies, you're always going to want them. And looks like Complexity going to try to take advantage of the huge gaping hole right here in Pinky One's defenses, and is just going to walk right into Pinky One's base. And I mean, why not? Gonna walk into Pinky One's base, probably gonna kill all of Pinky One's buildings. And if we look at the tactical map right now, incredible map control by the Allied players. You see Complexity's offensive, keeping the units all together. Very good. Chances are her opponent, will not have any sort of artillery, and if he does, well, too bad. And look at that, one-shotting that MG. That is why 3 snipers right beside each other, definitely the way to go. And my goodness, look at this, down to 10 frames per second. I actually forgot to mention this. My computer is actually not really up to par to handle the amazingness that is the Scheldt. So if you do see some frame rate dips, I do apologize. I am playing this on minimum settings and still not getting very good frames. So once again, sorry for the visual quality. It's not exactly up to par for my normal videos, but this is the Scheldt, so I'm sure you guys will forgive me. At least cut me a little bit of slack. Infantry half-track coming in right here, but he is going to face off against the Great Wall of China. And these engineers are going to try in vain to finish this sandbag wall, and probably will not do it. However, Huntsman 225 determined to get those sandbags down. Of course, all 4 of his engineer squads trying to mass produce them were taken out. And Complexity continuing in the middle. Random talking and laughing. Always want to LOL when you are playing on the Scheldt, because if you're playing on the Scheldt and you're winning as much as these people are, your skill has to be at an ungodly level. And there we go. Actually, that was not the terrible player. I mean, not the terrible player, but Pinky. That was the red Panzer Elite player. I guess he kind of got fed up at the amazingly effective strategies employed by the Allied forces. You see this British player sieging up at his front door, and Pinky, the orange Wehrmacht player, is going to tap out. So we do have two AI controlled players. Of course, the AI in Company of Heroes pretty darn good. This is not going to be easy for the allied players. I mean, this might actually make it a little more difficult than if it were the human players. However, Complexity does have her fleet of snipers moving around together in the middle again. And the Great Wall of China still up. Lots of sandbags, lots of wire, and tank traps. And the infantry half-track's just going to try to shoot away at those tank traps. Might take them a little while to get that down, but they could do it, I'm sure, if they put their heart into it. And look at this, a Vickers MG nest right here, because why not? It's a Vickers MG nest. They're useful everywhere. Just throw Vickers everywhere. This is the Shelt, remember? And there's no such thing as too many emplacements. And just as there are no such thing as too many emplacements, there is no such thing as too much artillery. And as you see, my game dipping to 10 frames per second as this off-map 105 howitzer shot does go down on this medium fuel point, going to take out the mortar and the mortar weapon right there as well. BB Violent liking that, giving a little good job to whichever American player decided to drop that artillery down. And there goes Pinky's HQ. So Pinky is dead now. Pinky's AI dead, of course, because Pinky is not alive at all. And Complexity racking up the vet on the snipers, dropping a little bit more artillery on these vehicles. Of course, they are smart and take 2 steps forward, dodging most of the shells. However, one shell does land right on this little infantry half-trackman's face, and he's perfectly fine, but the scout card dude, not as lucky. And the infantry half-track guy does die eventually to all of these rangers. Rangers spam, of course, a very, very good strategy on the Scheldt. Very, very powerful. Very, very micro-intensive as well. You really need to know when to hit the Tommy gun upgrade and when to hit fire up. It's very difficult to micro when you have fire up because you can't shoot, which is something people don't really realize, is that you can't shoot your weapons while you're moving and you're fired up. Of course, artillery going down on the teams. No artillery. Oh yeah, artillery going down on all of the defenses, going to try to blow them away, but these are tank traps. We're talking about people. That is not going to work. Oh wait, actually did more than I thought. Huh. Well, all the wire is no. Oh, there's a hole. So the wire's dead, but the rest of the stuff is a-okay. The Rangers moving up, but as I was saying, very difficult to micro Rangers, micro fire up, because I mean you need to know when to fire up, and that's not a trivial matter. I mean, look at this. Is he going to fire up right now? We don't know. This is one of the mysteries of being a good Shelt player, knowing when to fire up, knowing when to attack move with your snipers, and when to not attack move with your snipers. All this kind of stuff is really what separates the good Shelt players from the great Shelt players. And as we all know, the good Shelt players are the great Company of Heroes players. And as we see right now, Complexity really cleaning up all those Panzer Grenadiers, going to charge in this Geschützwagen and probably going to take it out in a few bazooka volleys. Look at that, down to a fifth of health, sorry, and taken down. And the Axis team really, really on the back foot right now. If we look at the unit counting station, we do see 3 snipers still and 3 ranger squads. Very, very diverse unit combination by Complexity. You see taking out another infantry half-track. Usually you want probably 1 or 2 different types of units on this map. I mean, that's really the best way to play it, the way to have the most micro, the highest APM. I mean, you really want to focus your tech on 1 or 2 different routes. You don't want to spread yourself too thin with a diverse unit combination, because then you're just going to get rolled over. So we see the purple American player going for a lot of riflemen. We see the British player just massing infantry, and of course Complexity going for her snipers and her rangers. Of course, lots of artillery, as I've mentioned before. Artillery essential on the Scheldt. I mean, look at this, just pounding through the Axis players' defenses. There is a Nebelwerfer on the field, is going to take out some of the Huntsman 225's rifle squads. You see this rifle squad crawling through the flames, And a little bit more artillery going down on this lone or grenadier squad, because why not? You have plenty of munitions, may as well blow it on random squads. And as we see right here, this is a hero sniper taking out a scout car. 1 light vehicle kill. And those are the kind of things that Shelt players can do. Their units just do more damage, it seems. It's incredible. It's kind of like, if any of you know StarCraft, he's kind of like I am MVP. Yeah? You know? He just does more damage. It's amazing. Anyways, complexity, floating manpower, which is what you want to do. I mean, floating manpower, never a bad thing. Always make sure you have enough to remass an army of rangers. Were you to lose them all, of course you can reinforce your rangers, but reinforcing kind of not really useful. I mean, may as well just run all your units in and kill them. I mean, we all know that's what Relic wants you to do that. I mean, they kind of proved it with Company of Heroes Online. I mean, that game just told you, like, yeah, run in, and I mean, who cares if you lose your rangers, because we'll just give you them all back for free. I mean, that's what Relic's all about. So, you know, can't say I disagree with Complexity's tactics right now. Doing an excellent job, far better than I could ever do at the Shelt. You see, almost with Vet 3, I'm sure, on these snipers. Lots of kills on all of them, and the Axis players pretty much dead right now, just kind of garrisoning all of the small houses in this little village right here. All these rifle squads, just gonna let them go. If this was Company of Heroes Online, that would be an extremely economical decision to make. In this game, it is only merely slightly economical, because this does free up population cap. It does mean he will have more manpower income, because, you know, every time you lose a unit, you gain manpower income. Just one more incentive to throw units away. I mean, if they're gonna cost you money to keep them around, why keep them around, you know? So capping up the entire map is the Allied forces, American and British, of course. Pac 38 popping out on the field. That's going to do a whole lot of nothing when it gets sniped. And there's the first Vet 3 sniper. Oh, let me see 2 more Vet 3 snipers. That is really the hallmark of a very good player, a very good Shelt player, of course, which is by definition a very good player, period, is the number of Vet 3 snipers they can amass throughout the entire game. I mean, Vet 3 snipers or Vet 0 snipers. You don't really want Vet 1 or Vet 2 snipers, because that means you weren't either killing everything or letting your snipers die in order to build new ones and keep your manpower income up, which, of course, as we've gone over before, is the whole reason for letting units die, and the whole reason why you should be letting units die. So Complexity really showing she understands this matchup, really showing she's probably, I mean, I know I will be nominating her for an expert badge when the next round of voting for the game replays Company of Heroes experts is posted. I mean, this game kind of makes it a shoo-in. I mean, in my opinion, it's really just impressive. I mean, look at this, all these bars on the ground from her teammates. Just the kind of inspiration, the kind of ability she inspires in her teammates. I mean, it's mind-blowing. And look at this, 2 more buildings and a few Nebelwerfers, a little bit more arty. If we look back over here, we do see 3 howitzers, so her teammates not really slouches either. I mean, 3 howitzers, kind of what you want to do. I mean, if not 3, then at least 5 or 6. I mean, if at least half of your population cap is not occupied with howitzers when you decide to go artillery heavy, I mean, you're not really doing it right. That's kind of like going like 3 Marauders if you're going to go Marine Marauder. Like, you got to go all out. And look at that, 3 Vet 3 snipers, and with that, the game might as well be over. Complexity has done all she needs to do. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that. How does she even know how to do that? Just, like, impeccable. Like, I don't even know what to say, guys. Just the micro on these Rangers. Look at this. Right-clicking on this Nebelwerfer. Gonna kill the Nebelwerfer. Then probably gonna right-click on the base. Gonna kill the base building. Just a fairly impeccable game lead. There's no danger close, please. Just the leadership in Complexity and artillery coming down on her own troops. So her teammates kind of betraying her, and she did say no danger close. So Jesus, guys, she is an expert here. All right, got to give her a little bit of space. And with the headquarters falling, this is going to be game over. That is the first game in my special 2-part Shelt strategy guide supplement, Shoutcast. Game 2 will be coming up very, very shortly. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in a bit.